Hi everybody, I'm Sam Gandy from the Greene County Historical Society, and we are in the Poor Farm Nurses Station. And today we are going to talk about what exactly the Poor Farm was in Greene County and what we are doing here at the Greene County Historical Society to preserve that history. So we are currently in what we call the Poor Farm Nurses Station, which is located in the women's ward of the Poor Farm. Now, after the Rhinehart family lived in the original portion of the house, they sold their property to the county, and the county built the county Poor Farm. So they added on different wings for both men and women and children to facilitate the different types of needs that they had. Many of you may not know what a county Poor Farm was. A county Poor Farm was kind of a safe haven for individuals in the community who couldn't afford to live or had different mental or physical disabilities where they needed care. They would come and stay here. And particularly the care that they were given was provided in the form of nurses. And in this room, we have a nurses station. This is set up to make it look like what it would have looked like as a nurses station during the Poor Farm days. So we have old equipment, we have some bedpans, and we have even a nurse's uniform. Now, we don't know if this nurse's uniform is particularly specific to that time period, but it kind of replicates what it would have looked like during that time. One of the items that we have that's particular to this room and nurses stations in general is we have old medicine bottles, which are very interesting artifacts to try and preserve considering they have liquid in them. Now, what we try to do here is we don't pour any of the liquid out because you don't know how toxic they're going to be after the years of wear and tear and them settling in the bottle. So we typically try to keep them in the bottles, but we try to clean the bottles on the outside to make them look like they're actually new. So this particular one here is Dr. Piercer's Compact of Smart Weed. This contains no alcohol or oatmeal. Now, in the 18 and 1900s, a lot of medicines contained a high percentage of alcohol or they were opioids. And this particular one doesn't have either of those. So this was used for smaller kind of annoying pains, but if you had a migraine or if you had some sort of muscle pain, you would typically use alcohol or an opioid based medicine. One of the artifacts that we have in this particular room, where we have the container that is almost full and we also have the box that it came in, is Sure Cure for the Liver and Kidneys by Parks. Now, this was used for anybody who had any sort of bladder infections or any type of urinary trouble, and it was used for headaches, coincidentally. Now, the funny thing about medicines back in the day is they typically told you to use a dessert spoon and took it 4 times a day. Now, because these were so harsh, a lot of times you would have an upset stomach. So a lot of people took milk, and sometimes they would even put sugar in their milk. So the whole Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, is 100% true, because this was some tough stuff to stomach. So where we are sitting right now would have been the end of the women and children's ward in the Poor Farm. Now, the Greene County Poor Farm operated from 1861 to the 1960s, so almost 100 years. This particular building housed different residents from different backgrounds that stayed within here who couldn't properly live on their own. There are a lot of stories in here. There are 52 rooms in this building that were built on after that the county bought this property to house the amount of people that they would need. And it's a big part of the Greene County history because a lot of people that live here are descendants from individuals that lived in these walls. Now, once the Poor Farm was no longer the Poor Farm, it turned into the county retirement home, and then the county retirement home moved across the street to the Curry home, and then it moved behind the Curry home, which is now Rolling Meadows. And then it became the Greene County Historical Society. And what we are doing here is trying to preserve the legacy of the Poor Farm, those who lived here, and also to expand upon more of the history that we may not know.